Well, this Christmas is a little less than merry for the Democratic Party. The Federal Election Commission reports they're nearly $16 million in debt ahead of the midterms. They're also deeply divided politically, far left versus moderates, young guns versus the old guard, and now angry at DNC Chair Ken Martin deciding not to release an autopsy of the 2024 campaign.
You're interviewing insiders, you're interviewing volunteers, you're interviewing state party chairs, you're interviewing donors, strategists. And so you're trying to learn and internalize the political and strategic mistakes you made so you don't repeat them again.
Yeah.
But they did say that they were going to make it public. And so now to not release it, you're creating this issue where what's going on and what are you trying to hide?
Joining me now is Luke Ball, a Republican strategist, and David Carlucci, a former Democratic New York State Senator. David, I'll start with you. Should Democrats release this autopsy report?
Of course they should. And this is something that Chairman Martin said hours after he was elected chairman back in February. He said, yes, we'll release this. And that was the whole idea. This is akin to Donald Trump on the campaign trail talking about the Epstein files. And then once he's released, he second guesses it. He does a flip flop. That's what Ken Martin is doing. So this is a problem. When the DNC is more concerned with optics than with rebuilding the trust of the core of the party, that's a problem. And we have unprecedented energy from the Democratic base. They want to know how to use their resources, whether it's their energy, their money. They want to know how to best use it. And if we don't understand the past, we are doomed to repeat it. It's nice now, right? The current is going in our direction. It's like we're drifting on a boat with no oars. And that works right now because of the policies of Donald Trump. But that's not going to last forever. We have to know and be ready for when the storm comes. We're ready for that. And right now, we have no vision under the Democratic leadership of this chairman.
It was a pretty embarrassing election for Democrats. Now, Luke, as a Republican strategist, I'm curious, do you think that this would help Republicans if this came out, or do you think it could possibly hurt in any way?
Republicans know exactly what went wrong for the Democrats in the last election. It was the abysmal policies of the Biden administration. It was Joe Biden telling Kamala Harris, quote, "No daylight, kid. You can't separate yourself from my policies. We're on this ship together. It's going down, and we're going underwater together." That's what happened with the Democrats. And they spent $1 billion in the last campaign and went $20 million in debt. So the money they even have cash on hand right now doesn't cover all of the losses that they spent to AstroTurf Kamala Harris's campaign rallies, spend $5,000 for her to get manicures. If I were a Democrat donor, I would not only be furious about the results of the past election, I'd be furious, like David, that these autopsy reports are not coming out, that they can't get the information they need to move forward. I don't concede David's assertion that the Republicans don't have the momentum right now, especially after yesterday's 4.3% GDP report. I think it's a long period of time between now and the elections. And if we stay focused on the economy and the messaging that needs to happen with President Trump's winning policies, I feel pretty good about the midterm elections ahead.
Yeah, there's certainly a long ways away, and a lot can change between now and then. But just looking back at the recent elections here in New Jersey and Virginia, the Democrats had strong performances. So I'm curious, who has the momentum right now? It seems that both parties are sort of arguing that they do. David, we'll start with you.
Well, look, the elections speak for themselves. And the fact is that Democrats are winning every election. And I think that is a testament to the failed policies of Donald Trump. Look, he's self-sabotaging. Look, tariffs, you can't say that tariffs are lowering costs. You can't say it's America first when you're blowing up ships in the Caribbean and striking other countries. And so, look, when people have a choice, and I'm talking about independents, those in the middle, they are choosing Democrats. And that's going to work maybe for the midterms. We could just coast, I think, and win the House. But that doesn't mean we're going to win the state legislatures. That doesn't mean we're going to win the county executive seats. And most importantly, as we head into 2028. So that's why we have to understand the lessons. And most importantly, we need a chairman that's going to roll up his sleeves and have these hard conversations with many diverse advocates that we have in the base of the Democratic Party and tell them what's working and what's not, so that we can start all rowing in the same direction. And until we see that report that they spent resources on, we're flying blind.
And Luke, I just have 20 seconds for you. Do you think that the Republicans have the momentum?
I do. I don't think that Democrats would concede that Republicans were having an enormous victory. If we want a special election in Wyoming, New Jersey and Virginia are purple and blue states. 2 points of data very quickly. The DNC's fundraising numbers are way off from where they were just a couple of years ago, under $20 million where they were on their marks. And the consumer spending among Americans this past holiday season is an indication that they think the economy is doing very well.
All right, gentlemen, thank you so much for the insight. Merry Christmas to you both.
Merry Christmas. Thank you.